Real estate.
Everyone needs it, you know. You gotta have somewhere to live. Some of us are living large, and some of us are living like you. But hey, it's okay. I mean, your boomer parents got their house for like 3 grapefruits and a pack of cigs, and you're gonna need a lot more. Just remember, selling your organs is always an option. I remember personally, my love for real estate started when I bought Park Place. Then my little cousin Jimmy landed on it, and then I took all his shit, sent him to his room crying. Rest in peace, Jimmy. Nah, he's not dead, but he is my bitch now. But I digress. While you were too late to buy your own real estate, you are just in time to watch some Botox queens dressed like they're in the Hunger Games pretend to sell real estate.
Does anybody wanna?
You just pulled a Cheeto out of your Birkin bag.
Can you turn around? Yes, yes.
If Jason would allow me to come to the office in a diamond bra, I totally would.
Listen, I'm a for any real estate-based reality show, okay? House Hunters is peak. I don't care that it was all scripted. Learn to have some fun, people. Oh, my name's Jerry. I'm a freelance astronaut. My wife forages berries for a living. Our budget is $1.2 billion. That is peak television, and I don't want to hear your opinion about it. And Selling Sunset is right up there on the real estate show Mount Rushmore. I would like to call this genre reality estate, okay? It's real estate plus reality TV, reality estate. Okay, this is math. Try and keep up. So while you spend your Valentine's Day, hopefully with someone you love, I spend my Valentine's Day doing what I love, sitting on this couch and watching 20 hours of these shows. And with that, I am now uniquely prepared to give you my analysis of the Selling Sunset extended universe. Selling Sunset, especially the earlier seasons, just had a little bit of everything. Beautiful properties, beautiful staging, great interpersonal drama, and of course, peak personalities. And Netflix dropped this banger like at the perfect time. This was a peak pandemic show. This is when your options were either Selling Sunset, The Tiger King, or I don't know, trying to overthrow the US government. But seriously, I mean, this show hit right when the vaccines were coming in, and I think, that the vax kind of numbed our brains and made us perfect consumers for this kind of elevated slop.
I feel like I'm losing brain cells.
The problem, of course, is that Netflix didn't stop there, because everyone needs an extended cinematic universe nowadays. Marvel started it, and it's like, listen, I'm not saying I won't go see a 7th Captain America movie. Alright, but if we're being honest, we're all here for Iron Man. Selling Sunset is now headed into season 9 and has birthed spin-off shows Selling the OC, Selling the City, and Selling Tampa. And listen, before we dive headfirst into this pool of lip filler, I just want to say the people in these spin-offs do deserve some credit, alright? It's hard to follow a masterpiece, and they put themselves creatively on the line for this. They knew their shows and their drama would be compared to the OG, and they did it anyway, and I respect that. But with that being said, let's start off by going back to the original Selling Sunset and taking a look at the greatest piece of media ever made.
If I sell something over 40, I'll ring the bell.
How about if you date someone over 40?
Season 1 of Selling Sunset starts off with us being introduced to the new girl in the office, Chriselle. And high-key, she is one of my favorite characters, or cast members. Just a super fun person to watch, super genuine, though some people think she's fake. I can see it other way. But Chriselle quickly becomes a co-main character, along with Christine, but we'll get there, as she becomes acclimated to working at the Oppenheim Group, a real estate brokerage founded by 2 twin brothers who are vertically challenged, Jason and Brett Oppenheim. To me, Brett always kind of faded into the background, but Jason is Jason. I mean, he's everywhere. And usually everywhere means inside one of his subordinates, but we'll get there. A lot of the drama with Chriselle has to do with her relationships, specifically her messy divorce to Justin Hartley in season 3, her getting coupled up with Jason in season 5, and then her later relationship to Australian indie drummer G-Flip, which was definitely, that was a left turn. But she's a romantic bisexual. Just like me, for real. But yeah, I'll always be a Chriselle defender, especially in season 1. It just feels like she's the target of so much. Usually from Christine, but also from Davina, who is the biggest joke in this show. She's just a classic mean girl, and her biggest contribution to the show is trying and failing to sell this $75 million house over the course of 2 seasons, and apparently she still has not sold it, which she has been clowned on relentlessly for on the internet, and I don't blame the fans, alright? What are you doing, Davina? One of the most tasteless things Davina did in my eyes is when she made fun of the engagement ring that Mary got from her now husband Romain.
How do you feel about the ring being moissanite or not a real diamond per se?
Davina,
Another plotline from the early season is that we get to see Romaine and Mary's relationship blossom from being boyfriend into fiance, and then they later get married. But there's talk in the office about how serious Romaine is, given the fact that he's 24 and I think Mary is like 38 or 39. Which, listen, we gotta be consistent with these age gaps. If we're allowing them, then it's got to work both ways. All right, this is a no judgment zone. All right, we just God bless Mary and Romaine. It seems like it's working out. Why do we care? And it also super helps that Romaine is just like a chill fucking guy. Honestly, it feels like every time he's on screen, he's just like a stand-in for the audience watching this wackiness go down. But yeah, he never forgives Davina for making fun of him for not buying a more expensive ring, and I respect that.
If it's fucking bullshit, then why did you get a real diamond if it's fucking bullshit?
That's fucking bullshit. If you don't know the person, you shut the fuck up and you don't make any comments like that, okay? So let's just be clear. Now we're good.
And speaking of Mary, I feel like she's the most believable real estate agent of this group. Clearly been doing this a while. She's a boss. Definitely seems like she could run her own agency if she ever wanted to. And of course, before the events of the show, she also dated Jason, who's her boss. And they co-parent a dog together. And also their desks are pretty close to each other in the office. It's not great, okay? It's not great. But when all the other girls in the office are clearly resent their relationship and feel as though Mary always gets treated as the favorite, which she low-key is, you know, this is why you don't sleep with your subordinates, Jason. Come on, man. Literally later in the show, Jason deputizes Mary, who's his ex, to handle a beef between Chrishell, who's also his ex, and Nicole, who's also his ex, because he can't figure the beef out between them two because he used to date both of them and he doesn't want to make it weird. It's like, dude, you already made it weird.
My worst nightmare.
I'm not handling it.
Yes, you are.
You're handling it.
You know what? Let's just talk about Jason now. Okay, guys, let's talk about Jason. All right, let's do a little role play. This is how I imagine an interview with Jason goes down if you want to work at the Oppenheim Group. Hi, I'm Jason. Welcome to the Oppenheim Group. Please take a seat. Oh, this is your resume? That's great. So can you do me a favor and
take off your fucking clothes?
Like, at the end of the day, Jason's saving grace is that all of his exes appear to like him. He seems like a genuine, nice guy. But my God, does this company need an HR department? Things get even weirder when he starts dating this other girl, Mary Lou, who's a model who's like 24, because like a 20-year age gap is just mandatory in this show. But it doesn't last very long. She's clearly immature. But yeah, if there's a low-key villain in this show, I think it's probably Jason. All right, next up there's Heather. All right, moving on. Just kidding. Okay, listen, Heather's cool. She's just not an essential character, okay? A lot of her screen time is dedicated to her relationship with this other guy, Tarek, who I don't find compelling at all. And I'm just like, it just doesn't matter, okay? Heather's great. She's there to react to things, but I don't think she ever drives. She's never a driver of the drama. She's like the Hawkeye of the Selling Sunset Avengers. Nice to have her, but you really don't need her. And I feel the same way about Maya. She's cool. She can be an instigator, but she just fades out of the show so quickly. She's, having kids. Clearly the show is not her priority, and she's just not really an essential character of the show. But hey, maybe if we do a Selling Miami, we'll get to see her again. Amanza is Amanza. I mean, she's cool. Her struggles as a single mother were very touching. It's kind of hard to take her financial problems seriously when she's, dripping in Gucci, but it's neither here nor there. And that brings us to Christine, which, love her or hate her, is the glue that held together this show for the first 5 seasons.
Come sit down, bitches. Finally! I'm so tired of talking about everyone else's issues. Now we can focus on me.
I'm not gonna have this conversation with
Because
you.
you know that I'm right.
Here's the thing.
You said you don't remember.
Christine.
It makes you sound like you're two-faced.
Also, I don't have to.
So we just need something bigger, and it doesn't need to be huge, just like 10,000 square feet at least.
That's huge, but okay.
Christine is absolutely a villain, but she knows that. She's a self-aware villain, and she's the villain we needed. And not for nothing, she's hilarious and based as f***. Jeff Bezos' wife strutting into the presidential inauguration in lingerie with her chesticles hoisted like NASA was launching them into orbit. Peak Selling Sunset Season 2 energy. Cute outfit, sweetheart, but wrong place. And as for our favorite lizardman, Mark Zuckerberg, his cold dead eyes were locked on her cleavage like he was trying to program his next algorithm off of it. Listen, there is... They can never make me hate this woman. I'm sorry. Christine Quinn for president. But yeah, it is also a running joke that the outfit choices in this show are just fucking crazy. Like, granted, I'm not in the market for any multi-million-dollar homes, but if my real estate agent showed up looking like this, I'd be like, dude, what are we going to the club? What is happening right now? They're throwing fits, don't get me wrong, but it seems a little inappropriate. But yeah, all the drama that Christine causes is easily made up for one thing. Aura points. I mean, look at her wedding, guys. She is 100% the main character. She is the only thing that is moving the show forward at many times, and ultimately that's what did her in. At the end of season 5, the whole cast basically just gangs up on her, just dog piles on her at this party, beat her up so bad that she just leaves and never comes back to the show. Understandably, I think a lot of people felt like the show was starting to revolve too much around her, but she was just like, I don't know, she was just the gravitational force for which everything else in the show revolved around. I don't know, since she left, it kind of fell off. Season 6 and beyond. Like, the most interesting thing that happens in the post-Christine era is the introduction of Nicole, who I mentioned before and is just absolutely unhinged. Nicole has this super contrived beef with Chrishell. Clearly, she's trying really hard to be the new villain, and eventually it comes to a head when Chrishell tells Nicole, quote, "You're on drugs."
I'm gonna move on.
I'm sure you would, because you don't have a lot of points and you're on drugs.
Fuck you.
Which, to be clear, Nicole was acting crazy, and that's a perfectly reasonable insult, I think, to level at someone, to be like, "You're on drugs." But Nicole, takes this literally and refuses to let it go, to the point that she takes an actual drug test to prove that she's not on drugs.
Take a drug test.
What?
A what? Full panel drug test?
What? What?
And at this point, everyone in the office is just like, dude, this lady has lost her mind. Like, we didn't think you were on drugs before, Nicole, but now we kind of do. Are you on drugs for real? I can't lie, it is absolute cinema. But other than that, I just found it hard to stay invested in the later seasons. I also know I left out a bunch of agents, so don't sue me. I was just trying to focus on the original cast, but there's also Vanessa, Bree, Chelsea, Emma, Elena from season 8, and this is no dig to them. I mean, Vanessa's great. She seems like a real estate agent too. Bree and her relationship with Nick Cannon is a plot line. Chelsea's a great addition to the cast, and Emma is Emma. But I just wanted to focus on the main threads of the show. If you want to see all this stuff, just go watch it. It's a great show for the most part, if you enjoy being lobotomized by television. Overall, I'll give seasons 1 through 5 of Selling Sunset 5 Oppenheims out of 5. And seasons 6 through 8, I'll give 4 Oppenheims out of 5. So now that we know about the good show, let's talk about the insane show.
Here they come, ladies.
Everyone look right there. That's real life.
My brokerage, the Oppenheim Group, has had so much success in LA that we're opening up a second office in one of the most affluent parts of California, Orange County.
Okay, so technically Selling the OC is the second spin-off after Selling Tampa, but I wanted to start here just because it's so unhinged and so insane, and also the most closely related to Selling Sunset, both geographically and also in terms of the format being 95% unnecessary drama and 5% selling houses. We start off in Newport Beach, California, learning all the new agents. There's Gio, who's a douchebag and also apparently colorblind.
On a confidence scale from 1 to 10, I'm a fucking 15. I drive an orange Porsche. It's my homage towards Orange County.
That car is fucking red, bro. Should you even be on the road, dude? Every traffic light probably looks green to you. And then we meet Alex Hall, who makes Christine look like a saint in comparison. Polly, who's just like a mean British girl. Kayla, who's Kayla. Brandy, who's also just Brandy. And then for the first time in the Selling Sunset universe, we meet 2 girls who actually seem like they care about selling real estate more than they do about petty drama. And that's Alexandra Rose and Alexandra Jarvis. I would literally do anything for these 2. Jarvis and Rose genuinely feel like they have no idea that they're supposed to be in a reality show. Also, the show tries the entire first season to gaslight the audience into believing Jarvis and Rose are bullies and the villains of the show, when it's so clear that they're the good guys. I mean, the entire first season is dedicated to the mean girls, which is Alex Hall, Polly, and to some extent Brandy, crashing out over Jarvis and Rose essentially because they're too good at their jobs. Jarvis and Rose are just counting money, making deals, and the entire rest of the office is just mauling about it because they're too good.
You may wonder why I don't speak to you anymore and why I unfollowed you on Instagram, because I felt like you have this superiority about yourself.
No, not at all.
Do you think that we belong here?
course. You guys are amazing.
Early on, a rumor starts spreading through the office that Rose is sleeping with her clients. That's why she's so successful, and there's just no evidence of that whatsoever. At a party hosted by Gio, Alex Hall, Polly, and Brandy are literally just talking shit about Jarvis and Rose to their face, essentially. Polly literally calls Jarvis a bitch in front of her fiance, who's just like trying to enjoy a crisp glass of champ.
Jarvis is honestly the most condescending stuck-up bitch I've ever met. Sorry, I know that you're gonna marry her. Hats off to you. Excuse me.
The unprofessionalism, horniness, and insanity in OC is just cranked up to 15 compared to the original show. And then there's another situation which takes up the middle of the season where Kayla apparently tried to kiss Tyler, who's a married man, which is crazy and messed up, but she apologizes to him. It's all good, but for some reason Alex Hall and Polly just will not let it go.
But moving forward, I would appreciate if you girls just stop talking about it.
Kayla, it's not always about you, babe.
I think you're just dealing with this like in a very different way.
Alex side rails a full team meeting to just berate Kayla in the middle of the day, and the only person who stands up to it is Jarvis, which leads Alex to storm off.
Alex, Hall, you're not gonna listen? Okay. Wow.
Your voice is annoying me.
Jarvis and Rose are literally the only two trying to put the Kayla situation to rest, fighting for Kayla more than Kayla's fighting for Kayla. But hey, season 1 ends with our two heroes selling a $20 million house, leaving the rest of the agents looking like bitter idiots. But don't go anywhere yet, because in the next season, Kayla actually develops a spine and just enters her winter arc full blast. Tyler got divorced, so it's pretty clear Kayla wasn't the problem there. And from the get-go, it's heavily implied that Alex Hall and Tyler are hooking up, or at least halfway to the bedroom, which now gives some critical context to why Alex was so mad at Kayla in the first season about her trying to kiss Tyler, especially since Alex and Tyler had a super weird, super flirty relationship the entire first season too. But hold on, at another Geo party, Kayla drops a crazy truth nuke, which is that she saw Polly and Tyler making out in the office.
We're making out with Tyler in the office? I'm sorry, what?
Seems like there's a lot of shit going down.
Apparently, Tyler has been following in the footsteps of his mentor Jason and trying to sleep with every woman he works with. Polly tries to get a lid on things. Tyler storms out of the party. But weirdly, Alex and Polly seem like totally fine with the fact that they're spit sisters. And by the end of the season, Alex and Tyler are making out in a hot tub. And it was at this point that I was wondering if we're ever going to sell a house. But hey, they both seem like awful people who are perfect for each other, so God bless. Honestly, the biggest disappointment from this season is Jarvis finally realizing that she's on a reality show and beginning to act like it. Her and Rose have a falling out, and it makes me sad, so I don't want to talk about it. Season 3 was by far the weakest in my opinion, focusing more on Sean, who I really don't care about, and him throwing out allegations that his coworkers want to have a threesome with him. But hey, it's also possible at this point that my brain was literally starting to shut down from all the Selling Sunset content I was consuming in a single day, so who knows. Other than that, in season 3 we also get the continuation of Tyler and Alex Hall's train wreck of a relationship, with it being pretty clear that they love breaking up homes more than they love selling them. Overall, I just can't lie. I love how insane and crazy OC is. I'm gonna give seasons 1 and 2 5 Oppenheims out of 5, and season 3 I'll give like 3 Oppenheims out of 5. Honestly, maybe 2.5, but whatever, this isn't a real rating scale, guys, come on. But anyway, let's get on a plane and head southeast because we're going to Tampa.
Killing it in the real estate game. The word about her starting her own brokerage, it was a hot topic. I had to be a part of it.
And it's smart women. She wanted empowered women. And I really think that makes Allure Realty what it is.
I really do feel bad for the cast members of Selling Tampa because it really feels like Netflix never really gave the show a chance. I'm remembering backwards here, but just in general, it feels like the marketing push for this one was the least significant. It was canceled after a single season, and honestly, I don't even know why they put this into production if they're not even going to try and make it work. Honestly, it probably would have been better for this show to just not have the Selling name attached to it at all. Both Tampa and Selling the City to me just feel slightly different than Selling the OC and Selling Sunset. Selling Tampa is for sure the one that feels most like it remembers that it's supposed to be a real estate show compared to the other three. The agents actually feel like professionals, and the drama is mostly centered around the actual business of real estate rather than just insane personal drama. Like in the second episode of Tampa, the boss of Allure Realty, Sherelle, changes their commission structure, which ends up being a pretty big thing. The only person who stands up to it is Rena, who for sure feels like the most experienced realtor here.
Why would you be changing the commission split now?
Like I said before, we're growing. And we do have a lot of...
When you say we're growing, what do you mean?
We're getting new systems. We're getting lead generation. So
we're paying 15% more of our commissions to the broker.
And drama develops over Rena exploring starting her own agency and going off, which she absolutely should because she by far feels like the best real estate agent at the firm. It's also hard to root for Sherelle because even though on the scale of Selling Sunset bosses, she's like probably top 1 or 2, she's still mixing it up with her employees, gossiping about one of them to the other. And again, this show does itself a disservice by feeling so real in that Sherelle's unprofessionalness is more stark because the world is so much more believable. Does that make sense? Like in Selling the OC, so much of the problems are so insane and deranged that just getting a standard shitty boss would feel boring in comparison. But in Tampa, things like Sherelle's management are like really all we have to go on drama-wise besides that, and other just like petty office politics. Literally the takeaway here is that Sherelle just needed to hire a guy to start causing relationship drama in the office, and then we would have forgiven her. But yeah, there's no men in this one, and that's probably for the best. Also in Joanna, who's the office manager and kind of a target for a lot of the other girls who don't like how she's been elevated. But when she has a singles party, Sherelle shows up and makes the announcement that she's pregnant at her singles party, which I would just never let that go.
Tonight was originally about me, but it's going to end up about us being a family.
We also, for the first time, see an agent actually get held accountable for being terrible at their job. Sherelle fires one of the agents, Alexis, after failing to sell for a year, which sucks. But then again, I'm just like, dude, there's actual professional standards in this multiverse, because then half of the OC office like needs to be fired. And just the way the season ends with Sherelle and all the girls going to Colony's 30th birthday party. And for some reason, Alexis decides to show face, even though she doesn't even work with these people anymore. And Sherelle just ends up justifying why she fired Alexis in front of all the agents. And I'm just like, this is not a good look. I don't get this.
I didn't know, and you put me in a position where I had to make a boss move and just let you go. Sometimes tough love is what it takes to help you improve.
Sherelle, you gotta be above the fray here, okay? You're the boss of all these people. This has to be one-on-one conversations, and that's it. But overall, unlike all the other shows, the season actually ends on a somewhat positive note, and there's no real beef between anyone. Overall, I'll give Selling Tampa 3 out of 5 Oppenheims. I didn't love the setting either, to be honest. Like, all the houses just felt McMansion-y to me. I also think the tone of Selling Sunset just fits better in a city like Miami, where people are just more overtly glitzy, vapid, materialistic, the things that I remember the original show for. And again, I think I did Tampa a disservice by watching it directly after finishing OC. And the drama here is just so tame compared to OC. It's just hard to get into. But okay, we're finally almost done. Back on the jet. We're going to Manhattan.
I am a top real estate broker.
The fangs are out. Sometimes all it takes is a little competition.
The gentleman that you had us all go after, I think I nabbed him.
And you know what they say, diamonds are made under pressure, baby.
Okay, guys, so listen, by the time I started watching The City, I was down 3 seasons of Sunset, 3 seasons of OC, a season of Tampa, and I was starting to see every time a shadow moved on the wall, I thought it was Jason Oppenheim in my house trying to come and fuck me. So my notes for this one are a little more sporadic. But again, I feel like this one is similar in the vein of Tampa and it being more real estate focused, except for a little bit of craziness at the end. But the show opens with us being introduced to Eleonora, who's the boss, who's starting up her own team at a much bigger real estate firm called Douglas Elliman or something. There's Jade, Abby, who's the inexperienced new girl, my New Jersey queen Giselle, Taylor, whose husband sucks, and Justin, who introduces himself by clarifying that he's not against working with women. And that's it.
Am I above working with a team of women? Absolutely not. I will follow the money wherever it goes.
Okay, well, I don't believe you now, Justin. Sexist piece of shit. And I was right, because he actually does turn out to be a scumbag. So if you judged him off of his opening line, good for you. They also make a point of explaining that Jade and Justin don't work for Eleonora, they just work in the same room. And I was like, damn, I wonder why that's important. Lo and behold, 15 minutes into episode 1, we learned that Eleanor and Justin used to hook up, and god damn it, why does this always happen? We also get introduced to Steve, who's a realtor at another agency and like really good at his job. Also just a chill guy, and also the first time in any of these shows we meet someone who just dresses like a dude. And yeah, the New York versus LA tropes are definitely troping here in terms of the fashion for sure. Like, finally we're getting some real estate agents who actually dress like real estate agents. More Devil Wears Prada and less Barbie movie, okay? And once again, like in Tampa, the drama is way more centered around the business of real estate. Eleonora is trying to navigate being a manager and having her own team for the first time. She's also trying to find love and purpose outside of work. On the other end, Jade is her own boss. She's also supposed to be Eleanor's friend, but is clearly the most backstabby, mean, two-faced lady in the history of the universe. She's hyper competitive and super jealous of Eleanor, to say the least. Abby's the new girl, definitely brings some fun energy to the office, probably trying a little too hard, but she's young and it's hard to root against her. And of course, the New York setting is great. The real estate itself is top tier. I would say Selling Sunset and New York have the best sets, and then Newport and Tampa are definitely second tier in that respect. But anyway, the major through line of the city is Jade fucking with Eleanor's team in just different manipulative and unhinged ways, trying to peel them off one at a time, turn them against each other, and just hopefully try and make Eleanor's team fail, which again is supposed to be like her longtime best friend. Again, for the first 7 episodes, it feels maybe a little more dramatic than Tampa, but not really that much. It's mostly just office politics and miscommunications, but it all comes to a head in the final minutes of the last episode, which really feels like the producers just pulled Abby aside and told her to start shit for no reason.
Cheers to keeping it real and letting the fake bitches live in fear.
Cheers.
Oh.
Cheers to that.
Literally everything's going fine at the party, and then Abby just rips a shot and starts blasting, specifically at Jade. And not that Jade doesn't deserve it, she definitely does, but just was not necessary. Jade literally tries to get away, Abby does not let her, and then Jade just says F it and returns fire.
Yes. Right now, you do look old. You do look old. That's interesting.
Come on,
So
Jade.
don't say this to me. You look older than you are. Tell me you're projecting without telling me you're projecting.
Is crazy. We get this fourth wall breaking moment where Jade is just crashing out. All the poor Netflix cameramen in the background acting like if they don't move, we won't be able to see them. Abby starts crying. Jade storms off with Giselle chasing her, and roll credits. And that's all she wrote. Overall, I'll give Selling the City 3.5 out of 5 Oppenheims. The drama at the end was so forced, but I won't lie, it was entertaining. Jade is nowhere near peak Christine, but still hateable. Taylor needs to divorce her husband. Abby needs to chill out. But both the outfits and the properties were peak. So like I said, there's definitely going to be a split where if you want more of a real estate show, you'll enjoy Tampa and the city a little bit better. And if you're like me and just want bimbos and himbos at each other's throats over the most meaningless petty drama, you'll prefer the OC and Sunset. In the end, I'll never get back the brain cells I lost watching these shows, but I regret nothing. And needless to say, the minute they drop another spinoff, I'll be on that like Jason Oppenheim on A Woman Who Works for Him.